This is Dubai Eye 103.8.
Meanwhile, it is International Women's Day tomorrow, and we are talking about women in the workplace and how they can achieve where they want to be, essentially, in the work. We're joined by two executive coaches, Melissa Schlimm and Simone Lawrence. They started the Ameliorate Group, and they run a female development program called the Lily Leaders Way. And before the break, I had Cara wrote in a message on 4001. She's from the Greens, and she says, I'm really happy in my current job. Really unhappy in my current job. I love working, but I don't know where to start with finding a new job and a new career. What should I do, and how should I approach this? Melissa, what do you think?
So I would say the most important thing is to think about, bring to your conscious what makes you not happy and what it would need for you to become happy. Because see, if you just move jobs, if you just move into a new role, in the end, you will take all these thoughts with you. You want to make sure, why am I not happy? And then you want to consciously start thinking differently about, how to bring happiness back into your work. And, you should never leave a job, and that is me, a former recruiter speaking. You should never leave a job and because you're not feeling happy there where you are. You should leave because you see something new and something great ahead of you. So if you love working, love figuring out now what you want to change, what makes you unhappy, and think about what would make you happy.
Jenny from the Marina has written in, I asked for a pay rise recently as my workload has increased. I was told no one is allowed a pay rise at all across the company at the moment. However, I just found out one of my male colleagues got an increment around the same time I asked for a rise. What should I do?
Well, first of all, I think it's dangerous territory to go discussing your salaries with your colleagues because it can make you feel inferior,
Oh, that's really interesting because I follow the policy that everyone should always, I'm really honest about my salary in the hope that it sort of, makes things less private and therefore people are forced to make things more equal.
Yeah, and brilliant that you hold that perception around those conversations, and that's a very positive perception to hold, and not everybody does. So there will be comparisons naturally as human beings, and so I would take the emphasis less off the comparisons and more onto the person and being able to really demonstrate the value. Why is it that they believe that they deserve the pay rise? And that's where the energy should go.
Do you think that women are less likely to ask for pay rises than men? Is that just anecdotal or is it true?
It's true. I've been a head of HR and I've experienced firsthand how a lot of women are reluctant to ask for a pay rise and it will be less prominent. Or they come in very meekly and very mildly asking for those pay rises. So again, it's really about understanding what is the value you've brought to the table and not accepting no for an answer. I think the resilience and the ability to ask for more than one time is also important. And if you didn't get the results that you wanted the first time, then how can you change it up for the second time? How can you ask differently? What else can you do?
So we've spoken about how women can make their own strides, but how can men, celebrating International Women's Day, how can men help women achieve their goals?
So I think one thing that the men can do, or that men and women should both do, is more think of through the lens of helping each other. So female brings skills to the table and men bring skills to this table. And now what if we help each other out by for example, mentoring each other. Yeah, so it would be great if men would say, hey, I pick out this lady who I think has great potential and let's go and help her, mentor her and support her along the way. That would be a thing that I would find amazing. And for the females, for the women out there, I think they need to start asking for it as well. What stops you from saying, okay, I go to this manager who I think is amazing, who has such a strong standing. I want to have that strong standing. Let me go to him and ask him if he can mentor me. Ask for what you want.
Fantastic advice. Thank you so much. Melissa Schlimm and Simone Lawrence, you are executive coaches. You run the Ameliorate Group and you have this fantastic female development program called the Lily Leaders Way. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Georgia.
Really appreciate your time.
This is Dubai Eye 103.8.